The story begins in ancient Greece, a time when myths and gods walked among men. The film opens with the birth of a very adorable baby, whose destiny is far beyond ordinary. The people of that era used to worship their mighty god, Zeus, ruler of the skies and father of gods and men. This baby is named Hercules, and soon it's revealed that he is no ordinary child. He is a demigod, the son of Zeus himself. But Zeus's wife, the jealous queen Hera, knows that this baby is the flesh and blood of Zeus, born from a mortal woman. Consumed by jealousy and anger, Hera cannot bear the existence of this child who symbolizes Zeus's betrayal. Determined to destroy him, she sends 2 deadly serpents into his cradle during the night to kill him. But as the serpents slither closer, the infant Hercules awakens. Even as a baby, his divine strength manifests, and before the serpents can strike, he grabs them with his tiny hands and crushes them to death. This act becomes the first proof that Hercules carries the blood and might of Zeus within him. Years pass, and the boy grows into a tall, muscular young man, bold, fearless, and born with unmatched strength. His legend begins spreading across the lands. The king of the region, hearing of Hercules' power, assigns him dangerous missions that no ordinary man could survive. Hercules, determined to prove himself, accepts these challenges one after another. He ventures into dark forests, deep caves, and deadly mountains to face creatures beyond human imagination. In his first trial, he battles a monstrous creature and defeats it with raw strength. Then he faces several more beasts, winning every single fight. One day, he confronts his greatest challenge yet, a ferocious lion whose hide cannot be pierced by any arrow or blade. Every strike bounces off the beast's skin, but Hercules refuses to back down. In a mighty struggle, he overpowers the lion using his bare hands and strangles it to death. He later wears its skin as armor, a symbol of his triumph and strength. Soon after, a scene shows a young boy tied up by soldiers. This boy is revealed to be Hercules' nephew. When Hercules arrives and sees his nephew in danger, he flies into a rage, slaughters every enemy, and rescues him. Later, Hercules is seen resting when a princess from another kingdom arrives, seeking his help. She explains that her land is in chaos. Their own men have betrayed them, civil war has erupted, and countless lives are being lost. One of Hercules' companions tells her bluntly that they cannot help without payment. The princess responds firmly, saying that fighting for justice is an honor, not a transaction. Hercules, however, says they need gold to arm themselves for battle. The princess assures him that her father, the king, is wealthy and can provide gold beyond imagination. With that promise, Hercules agrees to travel to her kingdom. When they arrive, the first thing they see is a massive statue of Hera, Zeus's wife, standing tall in the city center. The princess proudly tells him it took 5 years to complete. However, many people in this kingdom doubt Hercules' divine origin. They refuse to believe he is truly the son of Zeus. Yet, the princess's young son looks at Hercules with admiration, seeing him as a living legend. Soon, the king meets Hercules. He explains that one of their closest allies has betrayed them and waged war against the kingdom. This rebellion has spread chaos across the land. The king pleads for Hercules' help, saying the enemy leader is no ordinary man, but a powerful wizard who commands unnatural forces. He even reveals that among the enemy ranks are centaurs, half-human, half-horse warriors. One of Hercules' companions asks where these mythical creatures dwell. A royal advisor replies they've only heard stories but never seen them. Determined to prepare for battle, Hercules begins training the king's inexperienced army. They had no warriors, only farmers and laborers. He teaches them discipline and tactics, forming shield walls and unity. But when one of his men tests their formation, the wall collapses easily. Hercules scolds them, saying, "If you fight like this, you will all be defeated." Under his training, the men slowly learn to fight as one. However, news soon comes that the enemy army is approaching. Hercules advises avoiding war, warning that a battle now will destroy everything. But the king, blinded by pride, insists on attacking to secure peace through victory. That night, the princess's young son visits Hercules secretly. The boy confesses that he admires him deeply and wishes to grow up to be strong and brave like him. Touched, Hercules removes his own locket and places it around the boy's neck, saying softly, "I wanted to give this to my son, but now it belongs to you." The next day, the army marches through the land toward the battlefield. On the way, they see the severed heads of men hanging from trees, a gruesome display meant to frighten them. The king explains that their enemy did this to spread fear. But Hercules, inspecting the remains closely, realizes the corpses are several days old. It's a trap meant to divert their attention. Suddenly, they are ambushed by tribesmen from the forest. Confused and betrayed, Hercules realizes the people attacking them are the very ones they were trying to defend. The wizard had manipulated their minds to turn them into enemies. The battle erupts fiercely. Hercules and his companions fight valiantly, cutting through the horde of bewitched tribesmen. The scene is chaotic, brutal, and bloody. In the end, Hercules stands victorious, surrounded by fallen foes. But their victory comes at a cost. Most of the king's soldiers are dead. The king, devastated, laments the loss. Hercules confronts him angrily, saying, "I told you it wasn't time for war. They weren't ready yet." The king admits his mistake, but it's too late. That night, Hercules cannot sleep. Haunted by his past, he dreams of his wife and children, dead, burning in flames, and the eerie vision of a three-headed beast haunting him. One of his companions reminds him of an old prophecy they heard before coming here, about a creature who delivers divine messages and predicts the future. The prophecy had warned Hercules that his destiny was incomplete, and he would have to face his unfinished mission. But at that time, Hercules had ignored it. The truth is that Hercules was once a husband and a father, but tragedy struck when his wife and 3 children were murdered. The blame fell on him, and he was exiled, carrying the guilt ever since. Now, despite his pain, he leads his army to face the enemy king once again. The battle is fierce and chaotic. Hercules' army struggles at first, but through courage and strategy, they manage to claim victory. After the fight, the defeated enemy king approaches Hercules on horseback, attempting a final strike. But Hercules, faster and stronger, pulls him down and captures him. When he presents the captive before the king, the prisoner insists, "You've bound me for nothing. I never destroyed your kingdom." Hercules demands to know who did. The captured king replies, "Think. The man you fight for, why does he hide behind you? Why does a great king need another to fight his battles? He is no hero. He is the true traitor." His words plant doubt in Hercules' mind.